All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give a double honors to the elders and the apostles who rule well, and the salutations to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity. I'm the Karya Shirala, and basically following the order from the elder of McCamp. And the title of his lesson would be Casting Down Imaginations. And the imagination that I will be casting down and attacking is the image of the Messiah, the image of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, being a so-called Edomite, when according to the scriptures, he was an Israelite, a Judite from the tribe of Judah. He was a so-called black man in today's terms. I got a little bit of history that I wrote down concerning Caesar Borgia and who he was. First off, he was the son of Pope Alexander, you know what I'm saying, the fourth Pope, Rodrigo Borgia, which his father, Caesar, his father was a gangster, a warmonger, a greedy orgy having, running a continual criminal empire having Pope. You know, the image and the image of Caesar Borgia was forced on the church in the 1490s. Caesar Borgia, he was born in September 1476. It doesn't specify the day he was born, but just the month and the year. But he died on March 12th, 1507. He died in an ambush because he was fighting some rebels and he thought he had the upper hand. He basically ran into a trap and got murked. But yeah, it says here right here, it says Caesar Borgia's image has influenced all art depicting the Messiah. It is widely known that Caesar Borgia's image of the Messiah is not accurate, because the Messiah would not have looked like a white Greek European, i.e. he would not have looked like an Edomite. Caesar's image has become the standard look until today. Every time they say the word Jesus or whatever, you got a white man with that little stupid peace sign up. You know what I'm saying? And his hair is not as depicted in the scriptures. His skin is not as depicted in the scriptures. His eyes are not as depicted in the scriptures. But yeah, but during the time that this was about, Caesar's father, he ordered the destruction of all art depicting the Messiah as a dark-skinned man, commissioning a number of paintings of a European, a Edomite Messiah for all of Rome, which is Caesar Borgia. And one of the first artists was Leonardo da Vinci. He was one of the first artists to push this lie. Yeah. But yeah, as you know, it's a lie. According to history, according to the secular knowledge, the Messiah being a so-called white man, an Edomite, is a lie. According to the scriptures, he is a black man. This is Revelations chapter 1, verses 13 through 15. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a girding girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. His head on the hair on his head was white, and his facial hairs was white, white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. His eyes were red. Your eyes turn red, you know. Sometimes your eyes turn red, you get angry. Sometimes you have a little drink, your eyes will turn red. You know. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. That show you right there the Most High Son was a black man, a so-called black man. He was not a white man, as they have been depicting since the 1490s all the way up until now. According to the scriptures, his head and his hairs were white like wool. He had white hair and he had dark skin. Not this long flowy brown hair with these blue eyes, with that leprous skin. So I mean, basically, that's an imagination. That's not the truth. We're gonna go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, and I'm gonna go to verse 3 through 5. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. We don't fight against the flesh. This is a spiritual thing. This is a spiritual fight. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. There it is right there. First off, we don't walk after the flesh. Secondly, our weapons are not carnal, but our weapons that we fight with in this truth is made mighty through the power of Yahweh, the Father, to pulling down the strongholds. A stronghold is this Christianity, casting down vain imaginations. A vain imagination, the Messiah being a white man. That is not true. That is the biggest lie since Christianity. The Most High is not dealing with Christianity either, because if he was dealing with Christianity, this would have been over by now. Christianity is all over the world. It's the #1 religion in the world. So I mean, these lies are just it's just, I don't have no words for them. I try to explain some things sometimes, but I ain't really got no words for it other than the fact that it's a lie and it's bull. And I mean, it tells you right here, plainly states in the scriptures, the image of the Messiah, which is the Son, which is Yahweh Shai, he's not an Edomite. And it also tell you in Corinthians, we pull down these strongholds through Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. He makes our tools mighty. Our works, our power come through him. So we will be able to pull down these strongholds and cast down these vain imaginations and bring everything in subject, Salakia, up under the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. His name ain't Jesus. That's another imagination. That's another stronghold. His name is Yahweh Shai. His father's name is Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Yehoshua, not Yeshua, not Yahweh. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh. The son's name is Yahweh Shai. I got a little bit more concerning the Israelites being brought under this foolishness. You know, 2/3 of our people, they believe this mess. As studied in history, the Israelites, on many accounts, have been killed by the millions for not worshiping the false image of the Messiah, beginning with the Renaissance, which means the rebirth. You know, Rome and Spain, you know, Renaissance. Rome and Spain sent such persons as Ponce de Leon, Americus Vespucci, Hernan Cortez, and countless others to enslave and indoctrinate the so-called Indians and blacks, which is the Native Americans, the Latinos, and the so-called black people, the northern tribe and the southern tribe, to be indoctrinated into this Christianity. It's just not true. So basically, our people have been lied to, and our people perpetuate a lie to this day, and they still stay in it, and you can't tell them no different. No matter how much you might want to edify, they not gonna let you edify them. So I mean, it's just too bad for them. But the proof that the other nations came up against Israel and did what they did, I'm gonna get Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83. And I'll be reading verses 1 through 18. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O Yahweh. For let thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. These other nations have taken the crafty counsel against Israel, according to this little bit I just read. The little bit of history I just read. Verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. That has happened. They have cut Israel off from being a nation. You can't tell an Israelite that is an Israelite. An Israelite gonna say something stupid to you like, oh no, I'm an African American. when it just showed you in the history, Spain and Rome sent such people as Hernan Cortez and the Americus Vespucci. That's where they get the term American, and Scipio Africanus. That's where they get the term African American from. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. See, these other nations know that we the Israelites. That's why they did what they did in the days of old. The only people who don't know that they Israel is the 2/3 of Israel. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. These other nations, all these other nations are confederate. They are lined up. They are forced up against the nation, the children of Israel, the Most High's chosen nation. Because they know that Israel has the one true power. The tabernacles of Edom, i.e. the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gibal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also joined with them. They have hold-pinned the children of Lot, Salah. They have hold-pinned. Basically, they have scattered the seed, you know what I'm saying, of you know what I'm saying, lots. They have scattered the children of Israel, you know, so that they won't be a nation, as said in the other verses, previous verses. Salakia. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. So basically, the Most High is finna cause serious problems, and he gonna do what the other he gonna destroy the other nations too. He not gonna destroy them utterly, like Esau gonna get destroyed, like Edom is gonna get destroyed, but he gonna put some hurt on them. So I mean, they ain't gonna escape because they all came together and one council to come against the children of Israel to cut them off as a nation, because these other nations and Esau, they hate the children of Israel. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, Salakia. Yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. And my power, O my power, Salakia, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth wood, and as the fire setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded, and let them be troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So basically, this basically concerning the scripture, it's a prayer for Israel's defense. But it also tells you that these other nations came together to come against Israel. And if you don't believe it, concerning this little bit of information that I just read, according to these scriptures, that's what they did. That's why you had people like Ponce de Leon, Americo Vespucci, Hernan Cortez, and countless others to enslave and indoctrinate the so-called Indians, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Psalms just basically depict that, but it also says, let those other nations be destroyed as well. Let them be brought low. Let them be put to shame for touching Israel. And that's going to happen. So, I mean, these false doctrines and these lies are vain imaginations. And through the spirit of power and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, GMS is pulling down these strongholds and casting down these vain imaginations. And with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua yet again. Shalom.